skiers, I'm Jeff from SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2026 ski test. Today we're talking about this Blizzard Black Pearl 94. This is the widest ski in the new Black Pearl collection. It was redesigned for the 2025 season. We get the same ski for 2026, same build, same construction, same shape, same graphic. And they did a really good job with these skis. The Black Pearl 88 has been the most popular women's ski on the market. You don't see quite as many of these 94s, and I do feel like when you move up to this 94, it changes a little bit. They're built the same, but just being a wider ski, just more mass here, it just feels a little bit stronger overall, I think. And you saw that reflected in our ski test. Carrie Douglas skied it and specifically said that she really likes to ski or test skis at high speeds to kind of find the limitation that they might have, and that this thing just plowed through everything. We had some kind of soft variable conditions at our 3-day ski test this year, so a really good opportunity to test the stability of this ski, and yeah, she loved it. And I do think that it's a little bit different than the 88. Just moving from 88 to 94, this ski does feel just a touch stronger. At least we consistently see that in feedback about it. So the build is the same, true blend wood core, really cool way to build a wood core. It's very, very narrow strips of different density woods that allows Blizzard to control the flex pattern really easily. And then Black Pearl skis have never had metal before this new version. And now they essentially have a full sheet of metal above the core that's cut into 3 different sections, or 3 different kind of slits, or not slits, sections. So imagine a full width sheet of metal, and then you cut it about where I'm running my hands, and then there's actually a layer of fiberglass that kind of like weaves in between them, so the metal is not actually physically touching each other because there's fiberglass in between. So a really cool way to build a ski. I got to tour the Blizzard factory, and just seeing it firsthand was quite impressive. I believe this is the 176 that we have here, so a pretty big ski here. And on the scale, we're up at 1,920 grams. So obviously it's going to be lighter in shorter lengths, but this is not a lightweight ski. I think especially after they've added the metal in there, it's never going to be tremendously light because metal is a pretty heavy material. And then the flex pattern in these Black Pearl 94s is really nice. It's pretty supportive. Like you can flex it. It's definitely got some give and suppleness to it, but that is not a soft flexing noodle of a ski by any means. And then looking at the shape here, I think it's an interesting conversation when you get to Black Pearl 94, because in width, it's pretty close to the Shiva 9. There's only, 2 millimeter difference in the width underfoot between Black Pearl 94 and Shiva 9. And they did kick up the tail rocker in these new Black Pearls compared to previous Black Pearl skis, but it's not nearly as much rise as we see in Shivas. So that gives this ski more of a directional feel. If you want a super, super versatile all-mountain ski for a wide range of terrain and conditions, but you prefer like a stronger finish to your turn from the tail of your ski, rather than more of a preference to kind of wash and smear the end of a turn from a Shiva 9, this is probably going to work a little bit better for you. It's also a really cool kind of comparison to Shiva 9 now. Previously, Shivas had more metal than Black Pearls, so even though they had more of a freeride shape, they felt a little stronger. Now Black Pearl has more metal than Shiva, so it kind of like, it has shifted in a direction that to me makes more sense. Like I do feel like this ski should feel a little stronger than a Shiva 9, and now that it has more metal, it definitely does. So really good job. We already talked about Carrie's feedback. That was awesome. The only other thing I'll mention about it is I was just looking at three lines of feedback from 3 different women from this year's ski test, and all 3 of them scored it a 9 out of 10 for overall impression. It is a very, very well-liked ski, and generally anytime you put somebody on it, they're going to have a really good time. The one thing I'll say about this ski before we wrap it up here is Black Pearl 84, Black Pearl 88, I think pretty darn approachable for an intermediate. Like, that's something that Black Pearl has always done really well, or Blizzard has done well with their Black Pearl line, is making them approachable for intermediate skiers. So you can experience and benefit from the same things that an advanced or expert skier would. I do think that when you move up to this 94, it's just a little wide for an intermediate skier, and I think most intermediates would be better off sticking in those narrower skis, and those are both still perfectly appropriate. But yeah, this one feels a little bit more like an advanced expert level ski. Not to tell you not to buy it if you're an intermediate and you're interested in it, but at least consider that it might feel like a lot, especially at first. So that's it. That is the Black Pearl 94 from Blizzard. Let us know if you have any questions about it, and we will see you out there on the slopes.